Hi there, this is Ronnie, and tonight coming at you with another video. Having watched selected highlights more than anything else over the last 2 days on BBC Parliament over the debate on same-sex marriage, I find myself, as always, shaking my head with incredulity at the whole sorry mess. I simply do not understand why we have a problem with extending marriage to gay couples. I don't get it. I don't get why there's an objection. I'm very, very pleased that it's went through the third reading. It's now going to go to the House of Lords, where you really will get some despicable characters standing up and voicing their bile. Norman Tebbit being one of the sort of major players in that. This man, what amazes me about this whole issue is people use the excuse of, we have religious convictions that say we must oppose. There's two problems with that. Well, actually, there's three problems with that. One of the members of Parliament got very upset when another one made a comparison between those who were objecting to same-sex marriage and those who objected through religious conviction to the abolition of slavery. I think it's a perfectly valid comparison, as is the comparison of those who objected on strong religious convictions to women getting the vote, and who objected on strong religious principle to equalities legislation to combat racism. Religious conviction is not a justification for prejudice, nor does it excuse discrimination against legitimate sections of society. And whether they like it or not, the LGBT community are a legitimate section of society. The second reason that I have a problem with it is that you have to sort of prove that it's the right thing morally, and I don't believe it is. I don't think you can claim the moral high ground by denying gay couples the right to marry. I simply don't see it. They talk about it undermining marriage. How about people who get married and divorced in 24 hours? That undermines marriage. People who go into relationships where one partner is abusive, that undermines marriage. A couple who love each other, a legitimate couple who love each other, and gay couples are legitimate couples, who love each other and care and cherish each other and wish to spend the rest of their lives together. That's not something to put down, that's something to exalt. That's something to turn around and say, hey, this is great. This notion that if gay people are allowed to marry, somehow it denigrates every other person's marriage, that somehow it is downgrading heterosexual marriage by allowing gay couples to marry. That's just nuts. If you are, allowing gay couples to marry does not threaten your marriage. The only thing that threatens your marriage is you and your partner. The third reason is a very simple one. The religious conviction only holds up, over and above whether it's right or not, only holds up if it is a universal opinion. And there is no religion, none, that has a 100% view on this. None. You will find fractions within a religion where there is 100% view one way or the other. But the religion as a whole, there is no 100% unified view. Christians are on both sides of the debate. Muslims are on both sides of the debate. Jews are on both sides of the debate. There's both sides in Buddhism. Hindi, Sikh, paganism, go right down the religions. All of them do not have a 100% view. There are people who object on political grounds, and we've seen this in Parliament. There are people on all sides of the House representing all parties who have conflicting views. The idea that you can claim religion doesn't like it is a complete fallacy. All you can claim is the head of a particular religion may or may not like it. All you can claim is some, maybe most, maybe a good portion. But you can't claim that all people within a religion are one way or the other on this. As I say, factions of a religion, such as the Quakers, are a faction of Christianity, and they're all for it. There's liberal Jews who are a faction of Judaism, and they're all for it. But they rather make the point that not all Christians are against marriage equality. Not all Jews are against it, and not all Muslims, and so on. So to claim that religious conviction is a watertight excuse is simply barmy. I'm happy with the vote. I do hope that the one thing the House of Lords does do, excuse me, is sort this business out with pensions. Because the pension law as it sits at the moment is absolutely stupid. What it means is, give you an example. Two people, one gay, one straight, join a company with a company pension. And they join in 2000. 2015, both of them, they've both been paying in for 15 years. 2015, they both get married. One of them gets married to a woman, one gets married to a man. 5 years after that, in a terrible tragedy, both these men die. The widow, the wife, will get full pension benefits, going all the way back to when he started in the year 2000. The widower, the husband of the gay man, he will only get pension rights from 2005 when civil partnerships were brought in. This is nuts. They say that there's an extra cost involved. No, there isn't. There isn't any extra cost. When factoring in the price of contributions, all companies factor those contributions based on the fact that your average able-bodied worker at some point will get married. It's ludicrous to say that, you know, we believe in equal marriage, except. The minute you say except, it's not equal. So I hope the House of Lords really does kick that one right out and say, no, it has to be equal with pension rights or there's just no equality. Are those who oppose gay marriage bigots? Whilst they are certainly not the flaming, angry, spewing, vile bigotry that we saw from people like Irish Robinson, when she was an MP? I have to say that they are. And my reason is simple. If this was mixed race marriage, if this was interfaith marriage, and someone voiced an objection that it shouldn't be allowed, they would really be called out on their prejudices. And yet somehow, because it's same-sex couples, this is an acceptable prejudice. No, it isn't. It's not an acceptable prejudice. It is bigotry. If you say to someone, because of who you are less worthy of equality than I am, then you are demeaning them. You are considering them a second-class citizen. And that's wrong. Pure, simple wrong. Shouldn't be allowed. They may not like the fact that people call them bigots, but they are. I'm sorry, but it's that simple. They are bigots. So I hope that the House of Lords passes this bill. I hope that they pass this bill with the recommendation that the clause involving pensions goes, because that's only fair. As for civil partnerships, I'm kind of glad that they're going to set up an independent inquiry on it. I think that's the right way to do it. My personal opinion is I think that everyone who's currently in a civil partnership should just be upgraded to married. Civil partnership should be scrapped. But, you know, the alternative is to extend marriage to same-sex couples and to extend civil partnerships to heterosexual couples. And if that's the way it goes, fair enough. At the end of the day, it's about parity. And what we have at the moment, how the law sticks at the moment, it's not. There isn't parity. And there needs to be, because it's right. Morally and legally, it should be right. So those are my opinions. I'm very happy that it got through, and I'm very happy it got through a whopping majority. For those who are against same-sex couples marrying, tough. Sorry to be blunt, but tough. You know, your bigotry is dying out, thankfully. And I would place this as a religious coda. You base your entire argument on the idea that God has a problem with homosexuals. First of all, you can't prove the existence of God. Secondly, you can't prove that God had a problem with homosexuals back then, and you can't prove that God has a problem with homosexuals now. All you can do is say what you believe God might think. And you can't prove that God's right even if that's the way he thinks. Just because God says it doesn't make it right. So, those are my opinions, and thanks for listening.